Okay. Dan who? Dan double you. Let's go. Ow, wow, listen right now. Everybody knows the man that says pow. Start the show, gonna talk some toys. This is for the grown-up girls and boys making noise. Let's start the show. Talking Marvel Legends and the money that we blow. Honestly, look, there ain't no stopping me. Turtles and Joes too, let's do this properly. Need to buy more toys, don't tell my bank. Wasn't me, promise it was Hellfire Hank. Whole Who crew, look, they made me do it. If it lands in my door, then I best review it. Screw it, I don't usually boast, but I got Rich M, he's here to host. Raise a toast and raise some ducks. This isn't your average show, we're deluxe. Pow and well, fucking hell, I nearly died. Pow and welcome back to the channel, Dan Who Reviews, as always. My name is Dan W. Make sure you will follow me on Instagram at It's Dan Who. And hello, how are we doing? Back for another Thursday live stream. And this time, it's a bit of a celebration. Also, I'm in a good mood. It's sort of pre-Comic Con weekend for us in the UK. So it's a time where I get to meet some of my favourite people in the community. So as Rich is already in London, so Rich isn't on this evening. He's literally already in London, ready for MCM Comic Con. I thought I'll bring in some other members of the Who Crew network. So hopefully everything works for me. I'll unmute them straight away this time. And where are they? There they are. It's Jay and Mark Tac Tac. If it loads properly for me. One second, gentlemen. I told you I'm trying things out. Right, there's Jay. And then Mark. Where's Mark gone?
Hello, can you hear me? We've had a complete botch start. The power's gone wrong, ladies and gentlemen. So the substitute's here. It's all going wrong. Rich is in a hotel.
He is. He's in a nice hotel. He just FaceTimed me before I went live, actually. Where's bloody Mark? Right, hang on, Mark. Let me see if I can find you.
Calling Mark.
Mark, no.
I can see the top of his head.
Mark's there. I just need to press some buttons. I haven't been prepared today at all. I'm not prepared at all. Right, let's see. We're all there.
There I am.
Sorry, everyone. It's one of those days, people. Honestly, I promise you, if you knew why, you'd forgive me. But it's one of those days. Let me keep pressing buttons. I'll figure it out. But how are we doing? We're all good. We're here to talk some toys, some 1027 predictions, and MCM London, because our friends in the US don't realise that there is actually a convention in London that are going to have reveals. So we're going to have reveals both Saturday and Friday and Saturday, so 2 days of unique reveals. It isn't just going to be a rehash of what was shown before. All right, let me see. I'm still trying to find you, Mark. I know you're there, but you're just hiding in the background for some reason.
Like a voice from the heavens, just on a black screen.
Why is he black? I don't get it.
I borrowed this equipment off Craig. He lent me this equipment.
I might have to just do something else. I might have to just figure it out. What can I press? Can I press that? There's Mark's there. Mark's there. Look, this is why everyone uses fucking StreamYard, isn't it? Right, there's no reason that shouldn't be working. I'm not going to lie to you. Let me try and press this. And then I'll press this as well. Well, there you go, that works. There you go, there he is. So you see, fucking glitching. It's not me. All my settings were right. It was just a weird fucking glitch. All right, cool. There we go. Mark Tac Tac and Jay's Toy Collection UK. Thank you very much for joining me this evening, gentlemen. Thank you very much to the audience that are putting up with the absolute nonsense. We like to start off early here. But yeah, this is pre-Comic Con, pre-1027, and also a celebration as Giant Man did get back. So, of course, we're going to be discussing that. There is already a poll up in the chat right now that says, did you back the Haslab Giant Man? It funded. It's either yes, I was in from day one, FOMO got me, nah, not for my collection, or down with Hasbro, because we know there's haters lurking. So there you go. I gave you an option just so you can still participate in the stream this evening. But there you go. So it has funded, which is great. So we will discuss that. But let me first just go through the housekeeping. Where is it? Over here. So, right, the reason I'm getting Mark and Tanner and Tom's was on holiday, and also Jay, again, all members of the Who Crew Network. A Turtles and Tea and a Joe's and Juice are absolutely coming soon. Just don't quote me when. And Legends and Liquor will return next weekend. If you want to contribute to the channel, and maybe I can get rid of these technical goblins that seem to follow me around, anything over £4 or $4 Friday, we'll read it out loud, can be a part of the show. Much appreciated. And hit that join button. That's what it's all about. And if you do, you'll be able to join us for the secret little after show, the Who Crew Deluxe, an after show for the Who Crew Deluxe tier members every single Thursday. The conversation continues late into the night. So let's say hello to the chat. Hopefully all my buttons and stuff are working now. Oh, actually, I could start with this. This is exciting news, gents. This is exciting news. I have a discount code for a store in the UK. That's good, right?
Yeah.
That's very good. Because if it's going to be
good,
Kapow Toys, I've got a little basket at the moment, so I haven't checked out yet. So I will.
Right. So it makes sense, doesn't it? My catchphrase is sort of "pow." Kapow reached out to me and says, Dan, here's a discount code for your followers and supporters. So if you're in the UK, do not hesitate. Save yourself 5% on your entire basket. Simply enter the discount code DanWho5 at the checkout for 5% off. That's not bad, is it? That's not bad. It's better than nothing, which is
not bad at all.
What's been happening for a while. So yeah, shout out to Kapow who reached out to me. As I said, they must have heard the power. It caught on. But honestly, it is a massive. It's just every little helps this day and age. So thank you very much to Kapow Toys, and it's nice to have a UK discount code. Usually, I'm promoting like Entertainment Earth, and you have to pay. Like, as much as I appreciate their option, it is a killer with the international shipping. There is no denying it. So it's nice to have a nice local store with a discount. So shout out Kapow. Again, not just Marvel Legends, people. This is off anything you are buying from Kapow Toys. Lots of stuff on there. What's just come in stock? I can scroll down for a second, actually. What is new in stock? New in stock, I think some of the new... MCU figures are in. Sorry, Mark, I've covered you again. He's covered by the Kapow logo. Sorry, Mark. Sorry about that. Some of the new... there you go. The MCU figures are in stock now, and I do want to get Bruce Banner. I don't need all of these, but I need a Bruce, so I'll be able to use my discount code. I might get a Black Widow as well. But yeah, there's some decent stuff there. So go and check them out, kapowtoys.com. I will drop the link in the description right now. I'll make sure it is in the chat. I will make sure it's in the description as well. But yeah, discount code DanWho5 at checkout. Much appreciated. Thank you for the support as always. If you weren't watching, Kapow wouldn't care. So that's always good to know. Right, let's say who's in the chat. Let me scroll up. I think I've seen a channel member nice and early. Yes, I did. Look at that. _A. Whoever you are, AA, thank you very much for coming a channel member. Thank you very much. Is he a battery? I don't know. Is he charged up?
I was thinking Arn Anderson. There we are. There you proper wrestling reference there. I don't know.
So thank you very much, AA. Much appreciated. Who else is here? So we got all about the villains. It started with Click Shelley, Gabrielle, Lady Mac, Christopher Allen, Compulsive Collector, Mark Rose, Cloud Foxwell, Damien, Jelly Figs, Bring Toys to Work, Jamie Gitchard. Jamie will be seeing us at MCM this weekend, I am sure. Gary, there's Tac, I know that guy. And there's Jay, I know those two people. Little Leaf Creations, Mark Rose, Dom. He says, hello, fellow Bum Pirates. Hello, that's right, I do have a Bum Pirate emoji. Very south of where I am. Jason Lopez, the Retweeting King. David D. Pole says, hello, beauties. Clearly speaking to Mark there. Doom Customs. Tanner's in the chat as well. I think Tanner's going to be joining us. He's on his way home from work. The Wolfpack Toy Review is also working. He just sent me a video that looks like it's in some sort of wizard wonderland. It's all white. It looked like he was in like the Antarctic or something. So I don't know what's going on there. It's definitely not snowing in California. Not the last time I checked. Derek, James. Make mine Marvel Legends. He says, let's talk Legends, gents. You have came to the right place. What that's a new name, unless it's someone who we know who's changed their name, which could be the case. But hello. And Sage right down there at the bottom. Hello, one and all. How are we doing? So let's just get into Giant Man nice and quickly, all right? Because I haven't done a video about this yet. We did a couple of videos before the final day, and we were all trying to be positive, as we like to do on this channel. We try and enjoy this hobby after all, and we were hoping to add this epic Giant Man to our collection. And the community, the Marvel Legends fans, pulled through on the very last day, and it actually funded, gentlemen, and very, very close as well to unlocking everything. Shout out Christopher Allen, who was like one of the few people who actually stayed strong and throughout the whole time was confident it was going to get completely backed with everything. And he was 111 backers off. So bravo, Christopher Allen. I like that mindset. He was so close. So we got the zombie head and we got Giant Man. But I think I publicly said, as much as I would like more for my money, I was comfortable with the base offering if that was the only thing that was achieved. So for me, the zombie head is a little bonus. So yeah, it did back. So again, this whole crowdfunding campaign type situation always divides the community. You can pretend that there's not haters out there, but we have plenty of evidence there are. The amount of screenshots that Mike Hex was sending me from these dark web forums of people genuinely back it. So we had someone called, who was it? Some guy called Owl on Facebook. Don't know who you are. If you're lurking, Owl, hello. He said he was going to back 5, and then just before the deadline, cancel them so the would go down. So like, these people exist. Like, don't pretend they don't. These people exist, which is ridiculous. Like, why would you want to spoil? It's like taking. I just don't get it. I don't get the mentality. But I think this is about Marvel fans for me. Like, it doesn't matter if it's Hasbro. Who gives a shit about Hasbro? It's the fact that, like, we are Marvel fans. We want these plastic representations of these characters that we love. It's about world building and adding to the display. And Giant Man, I thought, was an integral part of that. The Toy Biz figure held strong for a long time, but there's no denying that this Giant Man is an epic piece and will fit beautifully into the modern Marvel Legend aesthetic. So for me, as a Marvel fan, I wanted this to succeed so I could add this character to my collection. The Hasbro bit's irrelevant. Like, it really is irrelevant. But that's the way it happened. It's backed. That final day was exciting, but nervous, but it happened. I'm happy. Jay, are you happy?
I am happy. So I tried to come on Legends and Liquor and discuss it, but BT, they shut me down. Hasbro didn't shut me down. BT did. It took them 5 days to get my internet back, but I'm here now, so I can finish those thoughts you may have been listening to a few days ago. So I was very happy that it got back. I was in from day one, whereas a lot of people I know have been in from day one as well. And a lot of the videos I've been seeing online this year, compared to last year's debacle of the Engine of Vengeance videos, they were mainly sort of positive. Everyone seemed actually to say in most videos, it's a good value here, it's a good looking figure. But then the numbers just weren't reflecting that. So I was very confused what was happening in the community, because what I was seeing was, yeah, people are saying it's a good price and it's a good looking figure. But then day one, good backers, and then nothing happened for literally 40 days until the very last day. So the day before, I was wavering. I was thinking, oh dear, this isn't going to make it. Because I through the whole campaign, I was like, I know people are back late, so it will be fine. But I got to that last day and I was like, think I'm losing faith a bit in this one. And then suddenly it just took off. I think the FOMO set in. Maybe I was saying it's a potential protest vote. People were saying there's going to protest against the HasLab and not back. But then they all sort of came through on the last day and those numbers shot up. I've still got a tab open with 6 hours to go. We're still at 8,000 backers. Ah. So those last nearly 6,000 backers almost came in the last 6 hours of the campaign. So it really did shoot up. I woke up during the night just to check the numbers occasionally, and I'd seen it had funded and it was going through towards the tiers. I watched Dan Unon with Parallel Universe as well, counting down as those numbers were just absolutely flying up. So I'm really happy to see it. I'm really looking forward to seeing it MCM, because I believe Ryan Ting is bringing it with him.
It's probably set up there right now. He's there waiting for us.
Yeah. So I think it's going to look really nice in person. So I can't wait to film the thing. So hopefully it looks as good as I've been hearing people from New York saying it actually looks. So I'm glad it got there. He's already got a place in the collection. So nice to see him. Otherwise, we'd have had a really big hole. It would have been the fans that would have been let down on this one of the actual line, because your Avengers lineup without Giant Man, it's never going to be complete. I suppose without the Engine of Vengeance, Robbie Reyes isn't the most important character, but Hank Pym in Giant Man form, to me, is A-list. So agreed. Definitely very happy to see this one.
That's the point I've been trying to make throughout this whole campaign. It's like, it's about Marvel fans. Like, we don't choose what company license these franchises and brands that we love. Like, these characters are entwined in us, and as we grow up throughout comics and cartoons and films, however it is, like, it's these characters that we love, and it's these representations we want as collectors on the shelf. Like, it's just Hasbro make Marvel. Like, that's just the way it is. So because we're Marvel fans, we get people just assume, oh, we love everything Hasbro do. Like, it's not the case. Like, they annoy us as well, trust me. But I do think Legends in general, they are doing a really good job with this aesthetic where you're trying to build a universe that are all in style with each other. And I thought, like, one of the annoying things about the sort of opposite side, like, obviously the people that wanted to back it and they were comfortable with the offering were one side. The other side were the people that are overcritical, as they usually are, which is fine. Everyone's allowed their own opinion. But they couldn't deny that Hasbro at least didn't pivot and listen to the feedback. The feedback from the last campaign was, it's too expensive, don't put desirable characters as unlockable tiers. And this time round, they didn't give any characters as unlockable tiers to purposely stop that. And they made it the cheapest Marvel Haslab ever. Granted, £200 is still not cheap, but in regards of Haslabs, it genuinely was the cheapest one for Marvel. So you can't deny that they didn't listen to the feedback from the last one and implement it with this campaign. So I was like you, I was surprised it went slow. But I'm glad it got there in the end. I did always have the faith it would get there on the last day. I think I went on record of saying that for the whole time. It would back on the last day. The zombie head did surprise me, though. Again, I wasn't optimistic like Christopher Allen. I was surprised to see that. And I stayed up all night. I was up until like 3 a.m. Watching it go. Because I just, at that point, I'm messaging everybody. I was like Ric Flair, just wanting to, woo! I couldn't do it, but I wanted to just woo. I wrote something on Instagram. Like, I just wanted to woo in people's faces that were just trying to sabotage this. Because, again, they are out there. I'm not talking about the people that are criticizing stuff. They're absolutely allowed to do that. But there's 100% a portion of these people online that just want to ruin everyone's fun, and I just don't understand it. Mark, what about yourself? Sorry, Joe.
Well done. Yeah, well, Joe. I mean, I agree with a lot of what you. Well, the first thing is you and me, Dan, are gonna see it in person tomorrow, and Jay, you're gonna see it on Saturday. So all three of us are gonna see it.
Unless we rob it tomorrow, Tom, Mark, and then no one sees it.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Operation
but I mean,
Haslab Hank.
Yeah, even better. Yeah. But in a couple of days, all three of us are going to see it, and that actually really excites me. And Marvel Legends isn't even my main line, and I'm excited to see it just as something at MCM. But you could see, I know, I agree with a lot of what Jay has said. You could see on Unparalleled's stream, both Dan Yun and Ryan Ting really quite sort of grateful and happy it had funded it, and naturally, right? Because you can imagine the three of them, Dwight, Dan, and Ryan, they must put a lot of themselves into these Haslabs, or a lot of their own kind of ambition, and it is a win, and it probably feels quite good for them after last year's Engine of Vengeance. And same for you and all Legends collectors who wanted it. It's nice, that you've got this come through. And I'll be honest, I wasn't sure either. Just like Jay's saying, I was being optimistic in Legends and Liquor and saying, I thought it would back. I thought it would just back, but I wasn't sure either. I was thinking, even right up to the wire, maybe this won't fund. And then, I woke up in the early hours of the morning and I saw it funded, saw the zombie head had funded. And, it's great. I mean, I think the thing is, they'll always, the Haslabs prove one thing. The Marvel Legends Haslabs, last couple of two, prove one thing. You can't please everyone. And that's just, that's just how it is. You just have to look at the tiers for this one and how people are going. Like we were saying, there's a sort of what's the right word? Catch-22 situation of people saying, I don't want figures locked behind tiers that would be essential, but at the same time, I want figures as tiers. Well, it's how do you beat the? You can't win. So it is.
I genuinely think that some people's expectations of what they want are just unrealistic in this current climate, and people like to get on their pedestal and be like, I don't want to support a corporation, $1 billion corporation doing whatever. If that's what you want to do, good for you. But let's be honest. there's a lot of worse shit going on in the world right now. People have no problems wearing fancy clothes that are made in weird. Do you know what I mean? My point is, why are you choosing to get all political with toys? For God's sake, it's fucking toys. But again, each to their own. I don't want to start anybody off. It's just toys. And again, if you disagree with me, that's absolutely fine. And if you, vice versa, it's all good. But out of the two, I would have preferred the scroll head, not going to lie, out of the two. But we were very close. I've seen a few people saying that it's like, do Hasbro fudge the numbers? Because let's be honest, we don't know what goes on behind the scenes. But I'm like, if they're really going to fudge the numbers, why would they let it struggle until the end and then we're 111 off the final tier? Like, why would they do that? It makes no sense. It would make more sense to randomly pull it a little bit higher or something like. So I think that's ridiculous. Remember, Hasbro is in multiple regions as well. Bring Toys to Work.
Bring Toys to Work donated $5.
Let Friday read that. Thank
Giant
you.
Man Monday was definitely a fun and exciting night. It was like most of the community came together to make it a reality.
It did indeed. It was a fun night, to be fair. It was like an election night. And Doom Customs, look at that, two of my favourite people.
Doomed Customs donated $25. Why do you think Hasbro has not released a Mephisto Hasbro Pulse exclusive figure?
Yeah, that's a good question. Why do you think Hasbro have not released a Mephisto Hasbro Pulse exclusive figure? I think more people were annoyed that we missed out on Mephisto with the last Haslab than they were Robbie Reyes. Like, that was the big, and the Goblin Queen as well, of course. Yeah, I don't know. I reckon they are just purposely, to make a point about the Haslab situation, they are purposely putting Mephisto on the back burner for a little while. It's going to be a while before we see Mephisto. I reckon he will get released eventually, maybe slightly different to how we originally seen him, even though what we've seen in digital render form, and we did see the actual prototypes as well, didn't we, see on display, and he did look good. So I do think we will see him eventually, because it seems to be tooled up at some point, surely. So it's just that they're making us suffer because of that failed campaign. They're trying to teach us, if you don't support something, you're not just going to get it. And it's another reason why I don't think we'll see the scroll head. Like, again, 111 off, you'd think maybe there's a third party, do you know, maybe there's one of those countries that don't have Hasbro Pulse that have still got to input their numbers, maybe, I don't know. But again, if they give us the scroll head, maybe they're teaching us, look, if you don't get there, you don't get it. But again,
Ramen Toys, Alien Big Man head.
Yeah, Ramen Toys, big tall guy on the way with scroll head. Yeah, absolutely. And that's no disrespect to Ramen Toys. I think they're doing some great stuff for sure. Options are never a bad thing in this toy game. Lots of stuff to go for.
I agree with Mephisto. There was because I think, again, they're just delaying it. They'll definitely make a Mephisto, and hopefully they'll make a classic Mephisto, because that was a modern Mephisto that they showed, and they said they wouldn't do the same look. So this is our way to hopefully get a more classic-looking Mephisto, so it can fit in with your more classic style, sort of 70s Marvel Legends and things, I think. So hopefully, fingers crossed. Maybe there's a throne there one day, because that Diamond Select throne has been eluding me for many a good year.
We've said on this channel before, I think I've said to the Hasbro team myself, like, instead of a Riders wave, do a Thrones wave, where you give us characters on their thrones. So you could give us a Black Panther, you could give us like a Mephisto, you could give us a new Thanos, or, you know, like, there's plenty of characters and royalty throughout the Marvel universe that have some sort of iconic furniture. Like, I know that doesn't sound very exciting, does it? Like, furniture wave, but you know what I mean. Out of the two, are you in agreement, Jay, that you would have preferred the scroll? Are you happy with the zombie head?
I am not. I'm the complete opposite on that point. Because when he was a scroll...
Hold that thought. We've got an Australian.
_A donated $10 Australian.
Nice.
Fun times in Australia. Giant Man pre-orders were $600 Australian equals £312, not including shipping, and the Marvel Knights wave has been cancelled.
That is not good. Well, shout out AA, just become a channel member at the start of the show, and now we know he's in Australia, and we've got an Australian friend, so thank you very much, AA. His first super chat as well. We appreciate that. He says, fun times in Australia, very sarcastically. We're British, we get that sarcasm, my friend. Giant Man pre-orders were $600 US, which is £312. Which is over £100 on top of us, not including shipping, and the Marvel's Knights wave has been cancelled. That is not good, my friend. I have no idea what's going on with distribution. I don't think Hasbro Pulse have an Australian like region, do they? They don't have a straight version.
No, they don't have Australia. No.
Yeah, that's not good, my friend. That is not good. Again, I'm always happy to help out people if they need stuff shipping. I can always go to the post office and ship things your way. But international shipping the other side of the planet is getting more and more expensive. So, but I'm always happy to help if you reach out on Instagram. Absolutely. But yeah, the Marvel Knights
Australia does seem a very difficult place to collect. I've seen a lot of videos, especially of course Tony from Analog Toys that is in Australia, and the shipping over there does seem astronomical, and they don't get a lot, it seems, of retail releases over there. So it does seem a really hard place to be. I felt similar with NECA, of course, when the Turtles Street Scene came out. The UK shipping was astronomical in stuff on that, so it can make some of these projects very hard to fund in international countries. So I do feel your pain there.
Yeah, sad time. Sorry to hear that. It's frustrating when you just want to collect, and like stuff like that makes it difficult. And again, us in the UK and America, we take it for granted sometimes how easy it is for us to get these things. So we're very lucky for collection for sure. But go on, continue with your point with the zombie.
Well, with the zombie, so in the comics, when it's the Skrull version of Giant Man, it's not that suit.
It's true.
So to me, I was like, it's not accurate. But when it is zombie version, if you look it up, it is that suit. So that is a comic accurate version of zombie Giant Man to me, whereas Skrull wouldn't have been comic accurate, so I would never have used the Skrull. So potentially, I could use the zombie head because it's more accurate to me. So I was happy it was the other way around. But I know I'm probably in the minority there because I've seen a lot of people that would like the Skrull chucked in. It was very close, and maybe a gesture of goodwill. It was probably about 100 backers. I don't know, yeah.
I will ask that question.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think we've got Tanner is going to join us now as well. So let me get Tanner in. And I'll jump to this screen. I'll wait for Tanner to be working first and foremost. Comics, Toys and Travel says Hasbro should give us the Skrull head. We were so close. Yeah, I will absolutely ask the Hasbro team this weekend. I will ask Ryan Ting directly. Is there an opportunity to get that Skrull head, since we were 111 backers off, which is very, very close. And our friend Tanner's just joined us. Let me press some buttons and see if he's in. Someone's gone. Wait, I'll figure it out. I figured it out. Ish, sort of, nearly, not quite, nearly there. That'll do. There you go, Tanner. How you doing?
I'm all right. After a long day of work on the late shift, got home, eager to have a chat because I'll be missing you guys at MCM.
We'll be missing you as well, Tanner.
Slightly awkward, but it's long day.
Yeah, sad times. Tanner is going to his cousin's wedding, and since we weren't invited to his cousin's wedding, we're going to MCM instead. But we would have chose the cousin's wedding if we had the option, lads, wouldn't we? But we never got the invite. So we're going to MCM instead, see some Marvel Legends. But Tanner will be there in spirit. I want to sort of get a cardboard cut out of Tanner and just carry it around with me, just so I feel like he's there.
Oh, it doesn't even need to be very tall.
I just put it in my pocket. You're right,
yeah,
just
exactly.
Out of my pocket.
Hanging out of your pocket. That's what it is. Yeah.
We'll be talking about Giant Man. Remind the people, did you go on it? Were you happy it funded?
I was all in for it. Come last Sunday, I was having that sinking feeling like I do with the football team I support, because they're quite disappointing at times, especially towards the end of the season.
You're having a good year. Having a good year.
And I got pleasantly surprised. So that can only mean one thing. Spurs are going to win the league this season.
Yeah, you think so. We shall see. So, yeah, you went in. You're happy it funded. Were you surprised that it unlocked the zombie?
You know what? It was getting right the way down to the wire. I didn't think we were going to get the zombie. I didn't think we were going to get the Skrull head either. The Skrull head I can do without because I have the Marvel Universe version of Skrull Hank. So I could have done without that one, so I don't mind that. The zombie, I'm not going to really use it, but as long as the Giant Man got backed, that was the main thing. That was the main thing for me, at least, anyway. Everything else would have been an extra.
Yeah, I agreed. I was comfortable with the base offering as well. Never going to complain at more stuff for my money, absolutely, but I was comfortable with the base offering if that was all it was. Arvin in the chat says, GM charging £100 tax plus ship. Canada, I had to miss it. Sad times, my friend. And Dune Customs, once again.
Customs donated $50. Forgot to say how much you gentlemen make my week.
Quick question.
Hang on one
Missing
second.
Rich M, but Jay, Mark, and Dan. Dude, you're freaking rock stars.
Thank you very much. Friday was reading out Doom Custom super chat. He's too kind. He is far too kind. He could write that in the chat without a super chat, but he doesn't. He chooses to super chat. He chooses to contribute to the channel. Doom Customs, you're an absolute legend, my friend. Thank you so much. He says, forgot to say how much you gentlemen make my week. Missing Rich M, but Jay, Mark, and Dan. Dude, you fucking rock. And then if I scroll down a little bit, he says, Tanner, you too, of course, because obviously you just popped in a little bit late. So thank you very much. What were you going to say, Tanner?
Thank you, Doom Customs.
I was going to be a little bit basically jokey and say, how many Haslab Giant Mans did Doom Customs end up buying you with all these super chats?
me, Doom Customs, and Bring Toys to Work were we had a little group chat going, and we were like, lads, like, can we not get 111 more? Can we not get this scroll head happening? But it wasn't to be. It wasn't to be. But I did go in for 2 myself. I did get a bit excited once it backed, and I backed a second one. So yeah, and to be fair, Jay, I think you've convinced me. I do prefer my displays to be more accurate. And you're not wrong. The scroll head was actually on the big circle, the black circles, isn't it? That's the sort of more modern outfit, which is the one that Rich originally wanted to go along with Tigra, and then there's a whole Tigra baby storyline. But okay, so yeah, maybe I'll display. I wasn't sure if I was just getting one to keep or one just to keep for a rainy day, break glass for emergency type thing. But because it is, it's gonna be rare.
You got to think secondary value on this one's probably going to be high, because there's 32,000 Galacti out there. There's 24,000 Sentinels roughly, but there's only roughly 14,000 Giant Men. So
that's a lot of Giant Men. There's still, but like you said, it's like nearly a third, not quite, but nearly a third of the amount of Galactus is out there. And to be fair, you can still get Galactus at not quite retail, but close to it. Definitely more so than the Sentinel. The Sentinel goes for more than the Galactus does. But yeah, this Giant Man, and just think collectors change their collecting habits all the time. Like Jay knows that for sure. The amount of different moods he goes through, but it's part of the hobby. People change their habits. Some people start collecting Legends and go, right, I'm only in for X-Men, and then they get a Spider-Man, and then they think, well, I'll get some of the Spider-Verse, and then they get an Avenger, and then their collections expand, and people change their styles. So I have no doubts moving forward, there's going to be people that maybe get FOMO that they missed out on Giant Man, people that didn't even know about the campaign may now want to add Giant Man to their collection. So I did see a few of the Toy Biz ones go up on eBay. Do any of us actually have the Toy Biz Giant Man?
No.
Exactly. The same as me. I virtually avoided it because I knew at some point they'd get back to it. I didn't think it would take them this long, of course, but that was one of the hardest builder figures to track down, and I didn't want to pay the secondary market. So now I'm happy to
for the longest time, it was going for 170 quid, that Toy Biz back, wasn't it?
This is my point.
So
this is just as close to it, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, 20 quid more, you can get a Haslab Giant Man. I get it's huge.
With modern articulation.
Yeah.
Doom Customs confirms he just got 2. He just got 2, but he still contributed. That's the main thing. And again, these type of things are not for everybody. But I do think this is a win for Marvel fans. Again, I'm not talking about Hasbro. Doesn't matter who makes this. It's about adding these characters to our collections. And I think an A-list Avenger was absolutely worthy of being on our shelf. So there we go. Giant Man backed. I genuinely think it's good news. And hopefully 2024 is a good year for Legends in general. And that leads us perfectly on to this week's sort of predictions topic, gentlemen, because tomorrow we have 10/27, or as we say in the UK, 27/10, as it is the 27th of October. And obviously the address of the Hasbro headquarters in America is 1027, somewhere in New York, I'm sure. Or I think it is in New York, isn't it? I think so. So they have a day named after it. And for the last 3 years, it's been an exclusive event for Pulse Premium members. So what happens is we have one guy that's a Pulse Premium member, and then we all steal the link and watch it. They need to figure out a better way. Look, it's on them. It's on them. It's their own fault.
They've still not sent me last year's link, because they were supposed to send it. I've still not got that email.
I'm sure someone will get us to us, but there. So it's for premium members, but everyone always ends up watching it anyway. And there
Don't
will be
worry,
reviews.
I'll add it in the chat.
There you go. See, Tanner's got us. So there will be reveals tomorrow. Okay, so the logos on the screen are G.I. Joe, Transformers, Star Wars, Marvel Legends, and interestingly, Ghostbusters seem to be making a comeback. Now, again, Ghostbusters is one of those licenses that they sort of have for a short time, and then they have to renew it. So obviously they wait until there's some movie or some media to promote with it. That's how these businesses work. We've just seen Indiana Jones sort of be promoted, and then the film came out, the film disappeared, and now the figures are disappearing. So it's interesting to see that back with the next movie due out next year. Is the Plasma series going to continue? So we will have that conversation as well, of course. But I do want to go down all of these topics as we have the Who Crew Network. Shout out Tom, who's not here, of course. I think he's on a plane right now, flying back from Copenhagen, I think he went. And then and Rich has probably got his feet up in his massive hotel suite, and hopefully watching this on a TV screen with some vodka, probably. But since we've got the rest of the Who Crew Network, let's go down these and talk about what we would like to see. So let's start at the top with G.I. Joe. I'm going to start off by saying I reckon we're going to get the Vamp pre-order, or seeing the Vamp or something. I would like to see the Vamp, and hopefully it's the Cheeky Monkey Kiara special price.
Oh,
yeah. What did she say? £40?
£45, and if it's not, I'll be asking Hasbro why not on Saturday.
That's the Cheeky Monkey Kiara price. That I doubt very much it's going to be that, probably double that. But we shall see. So I'd like to see the Vamp, and then I'm all in for Joe's in a minute. Like I didn't really do pickups, but these guys have been turning up this week. So I think I've got the Spider guy's a unique character, right? He's not an old character. He's a new guy.
Original, new character.
But I do like this Night Force sort of theme that they've got going on. So yeah, the Joes are still coming thick and fast. So Jay, what about you with G.I. Joes? What would you like to see?
I would also like to see the Vamp. I definitely would like to see the Vamp. For me, it's Mutt and Junkyard. Can we get them up for pre-order? Would be what I would like. They were shown at San Diego during the Joe's and Juice live stream. I do remember being on that one, and they were shown. They absolutely were by far, I think, the best figure and animal reveal, of course, of the show. Super chat.
Compulsive Collector with this evil super chat.
Compulsive Collector donated $6.66. Very glad for everyone who wanted Giant Man. Prediction: Classified Mutt and Junkyard Dog face pre-order tomorrow. Happy spooky season, or
I see what he did
smile
there.
With horns.
I see what he did there. Spooky season with a 666. Thank you very much, Compulsive Collector. He says, very glad for everybody who wanted Giant Man. Prediction for the Classified, just like Jay, that was perfect timing. Mutt and Junkyard, pre-order tomorrow. Happy spooky season. Oh, thank you very much, John, Compulsive Collector. Much, much appreciated. Let's hope that 666 doesn't give us bad luck, gents. So yeah, you Junk and Mutt and Junkyard were digital rendered shown as well, even though we've seen the figures before we've seen the digital render.
Yeah, they did it backwards, didn't they?
But usually it's digital render, and then the next time we speak to the Joe team or see the Joe team, it's the pre-order. So I think you'll be right.
Hopefully, I really do, because it looks so good. But I'll let Mark carry on with the G.I. Joe. That man is much more of an expert than myself.
Well, I think you're right. Yeah, I think Dan and Jay, I think you're right. I think it will be the Vamp, and I've heard a rumor about Mutt and Junkyard already showing up in shipping crates in the US. So it's very likely that they will be going up for pre-order. But I agree, the Vamp. I'd like to see Big Boa actually. I'd like to see some of those digital renders that we saw at PulseCon, like Big Boa. I'd like to see the actual, physical prototypes. But maybe we'll see them. I don't know. But yeah, I'm like you guys. I think the Vamp and probably Mutt and Junkyard will go up for pre-order.
Yeah, I reckon that's what we're going to see. The pre-orders will be the digital renders we've seen last time. Usually they show us packaging shots and stuff like that. And if they're already in a shipping container, then those packaging shots are already done. The promo images are out there somewhere.
We've only pre-ordered one of the new Dreadnought figures, haven't we? I forget if it's Buzzer or Ripper.
No, both of them.
That we've pre-ordered. We have done both, have we?
Yeah, both. Of them. One of them turned up in. Big Bad Toy Store, just randomly. Big Bad Toy Store got one of them. Buzzer or Rip, I'm not too sure. But both of them are up for pre-order. And in the UK, they are due April, annoyingly. Hopefully that date changes, but currently it says April.
I better go check my spreadsheet, make sure I haven't missed one then. Right, let's have a look.
They have all sold out as well in finger. Let me just go to Hasbro Pulse and have a little look. Go to.
Oh yeah, no, you're okay. It's on there. Buzzer, Ripper, Hawk, and Shockwave. That was one order, so it's we're okay. Yeah, we're okay.
Yeah. So let me have a scroll. So yeah, Shockwave sold out. Helix is still in stock. And again, this is annoying, but technically, the only official way you can buy, well, not official, but technically Joe's are a Pulse exclusive in the UK. But thankfully, our good independents help us out, don't they, Mark? Who is it? Where can we get our Joe's?
Range of places down, actually. Whole shebang, Kapow Toys.
Kapow Toys?
Well, with your code,
should use discount code and save some money on some G.I. Joes.
Yeah, they just drop straight into stock. No pre-orders at Kapow. They come straight in and they're in stock. So you can use Dan Who's code and get 5% off. Even better than Pulse.
There you go. Even better. Forget Pulse. Go to Kapow and save yourself 5%. There you go. Buzzer and Ripper both in stock, both for pre-order and both already sold out. And the date on them, if I remember correctly, is April. Oh, it's moved. It's February now. Okay, maybe some of them are definitely April. But do both of them say February? No, that one says April. The other one says February.
They are all over the place, aren't they, for the same wave?
Very annoying.
I've had a shipping this morning, or at midnight, was charged for a Trouble Bubble, but the Python Patrol version, the one that went up at a cheaper price.
Yep. Same.
So that should be LU as well.
That's the first Trouble Bubble we're getting, isn't it? We're getting the variant.
Over here, yeah.
Where is it? It's here. Yeah, that one is just shipped. I'll have that that will arrive while I'm on the way to London tomorrow, I think. So I'll have that ready for me when I get back. So yeah, I think you'll get it tomorrow, Jay, won't you? Because you're not traveling until Saturday, so you will have that in hand.
Yeah, no, it should. It has been dispatched, so it should be here tomorrow.
Yeah,
Yodel's usually next day.
I ain't seen anyone else with it in hand yet, so post some pictures if it does.
All right. Okay, get a review done. Oh, dear me, that's gonna be a
rush.
Sell tomorrow.
Yeah, it's the life of a YouTuber. It's very annoying. Okay, let's bounce back out to where we were. Okay, down to Tanner. Tanner, you're not in on Joe's at all, are you?
No, so I'm completely in the blue with anything. And if I had to place a prediction, I'll come up with two. One, a canoe.
Yes.
And the other one, a version of either John Cena or Channing Tatum from the G.I. Joe movies. That's literally the only thing I know about G.I. Joe about now.
I've never even seen those movies. Never ever seen them. Maybe one day I'll watch them. But yeah, canoe. For the record, me, Tom, and Mark, we're gonna go and do a Joe's and Juice interview with Emily at MCM Comic Con on Saturday. But Emily's unfortunately injured her foot, so I don't know exactly what happened. But sending positive vibes out to Emily. Get well soon. But she will not be coming to MCM Comic Con now in London. She did not get on the plane. So there will be...
I was looking forward to the wheelchair race between you and Emily.
Yeah, I have also injured my foot as well, people, but I'll be fine. Richard's got me a strap. I'll be fine. You won't even notice. It's fine. But yeah, Emily's not there, so we won't be able to do that, unfortunately. But me, Tom, and Mark will still be there to talk about Joe's because there should still be some reveals. Again, don't expect a lot of reveals at 10:27. I reckon they're going to give us a couple. I'm talking like maybe 2 or 3 at 10:27, and then again maybe 2 or 3 at MCM Comic Con. So over the weekend, we'll probably get 5 or 6 reveals in total from the different brands, but they're going to be split between the two. So let's jump to Transformers. Again, I sort of brought some of the Siege stuff when the Netflix series came out, and I brought some of my favourite characters, but I've sort of stepped back at this point on Transformers. They are far too many now. They're so deep and all over the place. So I have a nice little colourful shelf, and I'm good. That's my Transformers representation. So at this point, I have no idea what's going on. They've got like a legacy collection where they're pulling from all over the place of the Transformers universe. So I will be confused at whatever gets revealed. We're going to have to get your mate to do his research, right?
Yeah. So I had a live stream. I had my mate Matt, the Touch Brick, who does a lot of Lego content, to research the Transformers section, so somebody could talk about it. I thought maybe for 2 minutes. 4 pages of notes he wrote. 4 pages.
He's coming, MCM, right?
He is coming. He's meeting me on the coach.
Tell him to bring his
4 a.m. He can hold my camera.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. But yeah, in regards to Transformers, do you care? Anything you want to see?
Well, I'm going to tell you all the facts about Transformers. So I believe next year is the 40th anniversary of Transformers. And ladies and gentlemen, that's my facts on Transformers. Over to Mark.
Nice, Mark. What about you, Transformers?
Well, like Tanner said, he's in the blue with G.I. Joe. I'm in the blue with Transformers. Dan. So I've got a feeling this segment's going to be quite quick.
Yeah, let me go over to Tanner. So you don't catch Joe's, Tanner. What about Transformers?
Well, as you guys know, I collect the crossover figures from Transformers.
He does, yeah, that's true.
So I do. I got a whole bunch of the crossover figures of Transformers. So I do get Transformers. So if I was to make a prediction, I would love another crossover. And bearing in with people who know me, there's only one crossover I can say I want the most. And that's a Turtle Van crossover.
That's a great shout. That is a great shout. A Turtle Van. I'd get that. I'd be in at that point. Easy. That's a good question, actually, to ask people. In the chat, what iconic pop culture vehicle that Transformers have yet to collaborate with should get the Transformers treatment? What pop culture vehicle? I think the Turtle Van is a layup. Jay, do you have an answer to that question?
I've got one because Star Action Figures, ladies and gentlemen, have shipped to my 1989 Batmobile. So let's have an 89 Batmobile that turns into a Transformers Bat.
Oh, that would be pretty cool. Mark, you got an idea?
Well, have they done an Ecto one from Ghostbusters? They have.
Okay.
They've done two versions, I think.
Star Wars, because
they did.
Have they done that as well?
No, they haven't done that yet.
Okay. Yet. Millennium Falcon, then. Well, I'll go with from Star Wars, or an X-Wing or something, or just for
Well, they've done the Ark. The Transformers Ark, the vehicle that all the Transformers travel on. It's that big yellow Ark. That's sort of shaped like a Millennium Falcon, right? You could do like a grey variant of the Ark and just sort of retool it to sort of look similar, maybe. I'm sure there's ways they could do that.
Yeah.
Chat's blowing up the vehicles here.
Okay.
We've got all sorts. We've got David E. Poles there with Barvis Chevrolet. That'd be very nice. There was. We've got Ecto One from Doom Customs. Cedric's in there with a Blackbird. They've done a Blackbird.
They've done a
it's
Blackbird.
Not very big, but they've done a Blackbird.
I've got it. I've got the Blackbird somewhere. Somewhere.
We've got Mystery Machines, I think, from Jamie there. So that's Scooby-Doo, isn't it? We've got 18 vans from Hill Phones. All sorts going on. Loads of Batmobiles, it seems.
Yeah,
I have thought of something, Dan.
Go on.
It just come to me. But of course, based on G.I. Joe, what I'd love would be we're talking to Haslab, talking to G.I. Joe. They did in the 3 in the O-ring or the retro scale, those Transformer G.I. Joe crossover vehicles.
They look great,
classified versions.
Oh, yeah, that'd be sick. That'd be big, but it would be sick.
Yeah, that would be amazing. Yeah, they could transform everything.
Like a hound that's actually a tank or something like that. Like
absolutely.
Okay, now we're daydreaming. That's now we're daydreaming. That's the type of thing we should see in Haslabs, like crazy shit. But these things would never get back because they're so particular.
Yeah.
Well, the first Haslab was a crazy thing with the whole Cookie Monster, and that didn't get back. I don't even know the order numbers behind that.
I just don't think that got promotion. That didn't get enough promotion.
That got 300 backers, I think, if I remember. It didn't really.
Early on in the days of crowdfunding, I don't think that got enough promotion. I think globally, worldwide, there's probably enough people out there that would like a Cookie Monster. Probably not us four. Like, to be fair, I don't know Jay these days. Jay, he dabbles.
Jay will go for an Elmo. He'll go for an Elmo.
I wouldn't go for Elmo. If it was Oscar in a trash can, I might have gone for that from Sesame Street. There was the one thing we don't know, Transformers, is the one thing that set the chat right off. It's fantastic, but even on the topic,
you know what?
We don't know anything about it. We can engage the community.
It's true. It's a good question, Tanner. It's definitely a good question. Good point. Okay, let's keep going down the list then. Another one that I can talk highly about, Star Wars. Now, I joke because I genuinely do have a pretty good Black Series collection. Like, when it comes to the original trilogy, I have quite a lot of the main characters, bounty hunters, aliens, all in 6-inch, but I've just never had a place to display them. I was going to turn one of these cubes into a Star Wars cube, but then it turns out I just had too many G.I. Joes and Power Rangers. I couldn't make that happen. But I definitely have enough Star Wars figures to make a decent display. I've got Luke's land speeder. I think that's a vehicle I've got. What else I've got a bit anyway, but I dabbled in some of the Mandalorian stuff. I think I've got no, that's not true. I haven't seen all of season 2 yet, so I haven't got all the season 2 stuff, but I did get all of season 1 Mando stuff. So I do dabble with the Star Wars stuff, but I'm a casual Star Wars fan. I like the live action stuff, but I've never seen the animated stuff. I don't know all the magical laws, and I'm not as deep in as Brandon, for example. So since Brandon left this channel, there's not a lot of Star Wars talk on here. I do apologise. But there will be some Star Wars reveals, and I know Jay also does collect Star Wars. But you keep jumping around scales, and like you're done with Black Series, unless who are we seeing?
Who are we seeing? Right. Yeah, I've got all sorts of Star Wars scales going on now. So I've gone down to the vintage collection because I think TVC has been nailing it recently with some of these releases and their sort of more diorama things. So you can do a bit of world building. Absolutely. Still got my Black Series, and I've suddenly, as of 2 weeks ago, jumped in on Hot Toys Star Wars. So that's all three scales covered, really, for our friends from a galaxy far, far away. But what we were hoping to see, we need some love for a film I don't really like. Now, our former co-host here, Brandon, did throw me out the chat once for my chat that said that I was blocked for 10 minutes because I said Attack of the Clones sucks. But I don't hold it against the fella. But what I would like to see,
and you will always
I do remember it. But what I would like to see is Attack of the Clones figures. I want some more Padme. We've got one Natalie Portman Padme figure in Black Series, and if you watch Attack of the Clones, she must have about 50 outfit changes in that film. She is changing outfits all the time, and all we have is the boring sort of all-white suit. So we need some Padme. It is the anniversary year, I do believe, of Attack of the Clones, so let's get some Padme. And also, we need Anakin as a little boy. We need a pod racer and everything. So, yeah, we need some love, a bit more love for the prequels here that aren't just clone troopers. We got clone troopers coming out of our bottoms, but we don't have some Padmes.
Yeah, no, that's a good shout. Like, again, like, because of my age bracket, I was 10 years old when The Phantom Menace came out. Do you know, like, so maybe I was 11, but even still, I was young. So, like, I was the perfect sort of young lad age to sort of go and see a Star Wars film. My granddad made me watch he didn't make me. My granddad introduced me to the original trilogy. So I was excited as a kid to see Star Wars, and I grew up for a long time thinking those Star Wars films were great. It wasn't until you go back with adult eyes and you realise it's a bit slow. But as a kid, those films are fun. So I've got a little soft spot for the prequels, and I would definitely buy an Anakin and a pod racer. Absolutely, I would. So yeah, good shout. I think there was a Padme showed off with SH Figure Arts in her like regal gear, even a big chair or something like that, wasn't it? But it never made its solicitation. So I don't know what's going on.
Well, they love doing that with SHF or Mafex, whether make the import Star Wars. They show things they never actually make for many a year.
Yeah, just jump into a super chat real quick from where is it? Let's have a little look. Scotty C. Scotty C says, hoping for more Transformers. Is that Armada figures?
Money in the bank.
There it is. Thank you very much, Scotty C. Scotty C is my new hookup for Mafex stuff, by the way. He is helping me sort of backtrack and get my Mafex DC Hush collection sorted. He's got me Catwoman. And he may have been able to track me down a Harley Quinn and Joker. So shout out Scotty C, my new hookup on the Mafex goodness. Thank you very much for the super chat, my friend. He says more Transformers Armada figures. I don't know what that is. Does any of you know what that is?
Yeah, I know what it is. It's like one of the
Netflix show, isn't it?
Oh, okay. Oh, is it a new cartoon? A new one?
Relatively, yeah.
Okay.
Relatively.
Cool. Okay, cool. Queen Comics in the chat as well says, what do you think we will get with the Ghostbuster reveals tomorrow? We will get to Ghostbusters, my friend. It is at the bottom of the list, but we will get there. And Codename Chief says, hello there, Dan. Hello there. I get that's a Star Wars reference that I get. That was very well on point. Yeah. So let's continue with the Star Wars talk. And again, you can see Ghostbusters is on our list. We will absolutely get to that. But what do you think of Star Wars, Tak? Are you buying much?
Yeah, I do collect Black Series, or I have collected Black Series here and there. I think I'm going to go for a fairly boring answer. I think it's probably going to be Ahsoka based, isn't it? And I don't know if they gave us Grand Admiral Thrawn in live action look yet in Black Series. I don't think they have with regards to Ahsoka. Yeah, so maybe him. Maybe some of those night troopers that look like they've sort of stuck together with black sellotape, like that he commands. Probably, maybe those. We've had more or less everyone else. So, I'm just trying to think the name of the guy that the guy they went who was in the other universe. By the way, Dan, have you seen all of Ahsoka? I feel like I'm giving away spoilers here.
I've not seen Ahsoka. I've not finished Mando 2. I've not watched Obi-Wan. I've not watched Andor. I'm out of the loop, mate. Don't worry about it.
Disregard everything I've just said then.
Not a clue, mate. Not a clue. Doom Customs in the chat does say, preach, Jay. Star Wars Black Series should be constantly making troopers.
There you are. Some more love for the Clone Wars there. How have you not finished Mando Season 2?
I think I've just got one episode left. I genuinely think I was watching it and something happened. I got distracted and I haven't went back to it, but I did watch like the first bit of it. So I don't know. I just feel like
wasn't there a third series of Mandalorian?
No.
Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah,
no, wait.
Three,
okay. So it's the last bit of season 3 I need to watch then.
Oh, okay then. So
yeah.
Okay,
That makes more sense, right? Yeah.
It's like there's quite a big finale to season 2, and if you don't know what happens at the end of season 2,
I know that. The Razor Crest blew up, all of that. I knew that. I knew Boba Fett, and then Boba Fett Part 1, the Boba Fett series, and then it's Mando season 3. That's what I've seen. I just need the last episode of that because they went to the waters and there was a big monster there and all of that. And then I that's why I haven't watched Ahsoka yet, because I want to finish Mando. Just time, people. I haven't even watched any other Loki yet. I'm a Marvel guy. I don't know if you've heard. I'm a Legends guy. And I haven't even finished Loki yet.
Episode 3 of Loki, very good. Did enjoy episode 3, so definitely worth getting to that one.
It's released on Fridays, right?
Yeah.
I think I might wait.
Okay.
Unless
So
there's
we're
a big,
due an
big
episode
spoiler.
tomorrow.
Unless there's a big spoiler, I might wait until it's done and then have a sit-in where I could watch more than one episode. I don't like the week by week stuff. It annoys me. I want to have a couple that I can watch it. Anyway, continue. Let's go to Star Wars. So Tanner, so far you're 0 on 2. You don't go Joe's. Not that bothered about Transformers. What about Star Wars?
I mean, Star Wars, I haven't bought anything either, so it's 0 for 3.
Why are you here, Tanner? What's going on?
You know what? I just came here for the bants. That's what it is.
This is why you can afford to buy all these turtle vans.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'll show off my new pickup today. Arrived today, Tyranitar from the Pokemon.
He does look good.
Anyway, back to my prediction. I do have one prediction, actually.
Okay.
So with SDCC, we saw the Force Unleashed figure. Now, of Starkiller, I believe his name was. Now, in the second one, I do believe if you take the evil option, he has like a really Sith Lord look with like a what was the thing's name in Ben Solo's name in what's it called in the third set of trilogy, the new trilogy?
Kylo Ren.
That's the one. He's got a Kylo Ren-esque helmet, and it looks really, really cool. I think maybe to go along with maybe Starkiller being the con exclusives or stuff like that, maybe have the evil version of Starkiller for this upcoming event.
I bet you there's a guy in the chat who would absolutely love that, and his name's Thirsty for Chicken. I know for a fact he'd love that type of Starkiller. What's the difference between this Darth Vader? They revealed this week. What's the difference? It's a New Hope Darth Vader, another one. So what's different from the 8 they've already released?
I'm assuming there's a bit of new tooling on it, but I haven't noticed myself. And there's a new Mando that again doesn't look too dissimilar to any previous Mandos.
He's got a plastic cape.
I mean,
I've seen the Mando with
what's
the new
different between all of the Ahsokas that's been released recently. Aren't 2 coming out with just separate packaging, but the exact same figure?
Yeah, I'm asking. If I need to know anything about Ahsoka figures, I'm asking our resident collector, Jamie Gitchard, he created a rule that he regrets. He's buying all the Ahsoka figures, and now he has a lot of identical ones.
It's the worst rule in the history of toys.
Why did he make that? Why he made that himself as well? It wasn't even a dare or something. It's what he made. Little Leaf Creations, thank you very much. Is gifting some channel memberships, and he's encouraging others to do exactly the same. As so is David D. Pole. Thank you very much, Pete and David. That was much appreciated. So Little Leaf Creations and David both gifting out some channel memberships, and they have been caught by De Collector. That's Da Collector. That's a name I haven't seen, so maybe he's a lurker. So Da Collector, if you're lurking, please say hello in the chat. And say a special thank you to Little Leaf Creations. And also, is that Mings Luna? Caught David?
Migs Luna.
Migs Luna. So shout out Migs Luna as well. So again, maybe 2 lurkers. I don't mind the lurkers. The lurkers are welcome. But if you are near a keyboard, make sure you say a special thank you to David and Pete there for the channel memberships. Much appreciated, lad. Thank you so much. Always nice to add some new faces to the community. And if you've never been a channel member before, go and check out some of the bonus content. All right, there's lots of extra live streams you can go and watch, and some of them are just nonsense. So it's not, you don't even have to watch them. Like, it's not because it's not about relevant toy news. We're literally just playing games and being idiots. So you can watch them whenever you want. It's called In a Circle. We'll be another one very soon, I promise, when I find the time. But it will happen. Okay, let me bounce back out of this and go back to this. And let's skip the Legends till last. Let's skip Legends till last because I think that's the bread and butter on the channel. And let's just jump to Ghostbusters first, okay? So I sort of already said I would love to see Ghostbusters continue with the plasma series. I'd love to see like ghosts or something like that, like a whole wave of ghosts. I'd love a in-scale version of the Ecto-1. They did reveal a plasma series Ecto-1, which was not in scale with the figures. It made no fucking sense. It was the worst decision they ever made. Give us an Ecto-1 in scale with the plasma series, with lights and whatever. Even the little sound, like, that would be sick. Anyway, I'd buy that. They did tease that something as big is coming, but is that another Haslab? The last Proton Pack did do really well. Could they be making a trap? Like, there's rumours going around that it may be like the slime cannon from the second movie. Because I know there's a couple of TikToks going about on the set of Ghostbusters with that. Again, rumours, innuendo, I don't know. But selfishly, I would like to see the plasma series continue. There's still a couple of characters from the second movie, like regular humans that I'd buy. But I'd love to see some ghosts. Like, we've got the Ghostbusters. Now let's get some ghosts. But we shall see. We'll find out. What about you, Jay?
With Ghostbusters, there's one thing I kind of always wanted since I was little, and it's a giant Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in scale. We've got. I think I've got the Diamond Select Money Bank. I've got the burnt version. I think you've got the Money Bank. Yeah. All companies have tried. NECA have done a big one, but we've never had a definitive, articulated giant Stay Puft. So I think that would be pretty cool. But I think it probably might be more. How big? I don't know. Bigger than Galactus size, really. Yeah, 30 inches or something. I think it would need to be. They could probably make it quite hollow, so that might keep the price down a bit. I don't know, but with the success of the prop replicas and movie replicas, I was thinking what you just mentioned, a ghost trap. So that had popped into my head before. But for me, I would like a giant Stay Puft. I can't imagine it's figures because they were teasing something big, and I can't. The film isn't out yet, so it can't be anything from the new movie. Unless they're going to go back and do, they say, missing figures from previous. They haven't touched on the cartoon version of figures, have they? They've re-released like the Kenner figures, but not actually stuff based on the real Ghostbusters cartoon.
Absolutely buy real Ghostbusters in 6-inch form, like even with like the stylized poppy colours. I'd even buy Extreme Ghostbusters. Like, I love everything that Ghostbusters has released, apart from this is no discrimination to the females, like, but I did not like that Paul Feig movie. It's Paul Feig, right? I didn't like that movie as such. I just felt that was a bit. That's like a multiverse version of the Ghostbusters. But I have liked everything else otherwise. So yeah, I'd love to see. And I reckon there's a clue with this picture. This picture has G.I. Joe, Transformers, Star Wars, Marvel, Ghostbusters. They're all the collector heavy lines. There isn't any of the kiddie brands in there. It's all I know all of the brands do a sort of cheaper price point for the kids, but I reckon it's got to be something more collector friendly if they're going to throw it in with the big boys there, if that makes sense. So it has to be either a Haslab or a prop replica or plasma series maybe.
How depressed does this graphic make me feel not seeing Power Rangers Lightning Collection on there? Yeah. I have to mention that. I know I'm 0 for 3 at the moment. It will be 0 for 4, but I have to mention the one. I have to mention the one brand. Well, one of the two brands on here I do collect that isn't going to be here, and shout them out. The Power Rangers Lightning Collection. I do hope this hiatus is only temporary, and they will be back stronger than ever. Stronger than before if I go down the whole Zeo angle, but yes, I've got to shout them out purely because I collect the line. I really enjoyed the line. I'd love to see it continue. I'd love some of the teams that they've started to be finished. Heck, even the Zord Ascension project has been class as well. Aside from my Dragon Zord that is missing a knee pad, it's a brand that I want to see continue. I hope comes back. It's a lot of nostalgia for me, so I will just throw that in there because I know we won't be talking about that because it's not on this graphic.
Yeah, I'm just showing off my Power Rangers as you talk because I completely agree. I loved what they were doing with the. Hang on, I'll find you back in a sec. I loved what they were doing with the Lightning Collection, and like you said, there was still plenty to go. Like they just started Turbo, and I was nearly all in on the Zordon era, but then they only gave us one Turbo figure. Plenty of Zords they could have still do. They teased the Tiger Zord, didn't they? Is it the Tiger? Yeah, it's the Tiger Zord, the white one, right?
Yeah, it was the Tiger Zord. Yeah. They teased it in Brazil last year around about this time, right?
And like, I know they've done in space, but there's the Dragon Zord you just alluded to. I haven't even opened mine yet, Tanner, so I hope I've got 2 knee pads in there. And I've also got...
If you have 3, send one my way.
I will. But I've got both the Megazords. Like, I was in. Like, I loved Power Rangers, and I don't understand why Hasbro have put it on hiatus. I really don't. Like, I know that these big companies like to release toys when there's media to promote it with. I get it, but I think in this day and age, Power Rangers is a strong brand that can have a consistent presence on the toy aisle, and majority of people are going to recognize who these are. Like, it's not, you don't need a brand, you don't need a TV show happening on TV. Like, of course that encourages sales amongst kids, absolutely, but I think it's been around like 30 plus years now, isn't it? So it can have a presence on the shelf still. So Hasbro, what you playing at? Take the Power Rangers off ice. So yeah, let's go down to Mark then, and bringing it back to Ghostbusters. Anything you'd like to see? Any ideas of what you think they're going to show?
Well, only really echoing what Jay was saying, Dan, yourself, Dan. I think it'll be a trap because it's a trap.
It's a trap. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, because the sort of cosplay type stuff does do really well. You know, like the proton pack, the wand, all those kind of things do really well. But like Jay's saying, I would really like, or like you were saying as well, Dan, I'd really like the real Ghostbusters in 6-inch, the cartoon characters in 6-inch. I think that'd be great. So, and someone has there is speculation that it may not actually be. It's a trap.
It's a trap. I was just showing people in case they didn't get that reference. There you
go. Yeah. There is speculation it may actually not be a cosplay, should we say, type piece, that it could be figures. So that's interesting. But I'd put, if I was guessing, I'd say a trap, but I prefer figures 100%. Or what, like Jay's saying, a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. But yeah, real Ghostbusters figures all day long. Yeah.
We've not mentioned Firehouse, have we?
That's what I was literally about to say the exact same thing. Yeah. What about, because I just brought this, talking about Kapow earlier. Kapow have got this on sale for $14.95, which is a joke price, by the way. You should absolutely get one. I had this as a kid. I did rebuy all the figures and kept them on card, but I never got this because I didn't want to pay like 60 quid for it at the time or whatever it was. But I paid bloody £15 for it. So this is the Ecto 1, the actual like kid like version from when I was a kid. It's still obviously the re-release, but it's still the sentimental value still there. So yeah, I would love these in a 6-inch scale, but they never re-released the Firehouse of this. So they could release the Firehouse to go along with these, like the retro re-releases, which are hot at the minute. So, well, retro is hot, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, good shout. Let's go to Tanner then. He's got lots to say with Ghostbusters. What are you saying, Tanner?
Yeah.
I mean, the past 2 years they've announced Haslab.
Do you like Ghostbusters?
I like the movies, yeah. Okay. So I've watched all. I haven't seen the one with the moon, and I've seen all the other movies though. Ghostbusters is a quality 80s movie. Yeah. I don't get the figures though. But what I will say is the last 2 years at this event, Ghostbusters have announced the Haslab. So if we're going down the trend, if we're going down the odds, chances are that this will be a Haslab. Whether or not it's the Trap, whether or not it's the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man or anything else, it's just a case of I do think this will be where they announce another Haslab.
They've only done one, Tanner. They've only done one. They only did the Proton Pack.
Didn't they do one the year before?
What was it?
Oh, what was it?
They didn't. It's just one. I promise you. Ghostbusters have only done one.
All right. I'll take your word on it. I could be wrong, but yeah. There was a Haslab the year before, but all right, doesn't matter. I'll research it later.
The chat will tell me if I'm wrong. The chat will tell me in 2 seconds. Chat. Was there another? Yeah. Is there another Haslab for Ghostbusters, or is it just the Proton Pack? I know they re-released the wand a couple of times, but that
they sold the wand separately. Yeah, but maybe that was.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of then. In which case. Okay, but yeah, I think this will be another Haslab because I mean the Marvel Legends one has just finished. There's a little bit of time before Christmas to earn that little bit more cash. It only makes sense to do a Haslab, so to say, another one just to get that little bit more in before Christmas.
And do you think it would be a trap?
I have no idea.
A trap?
Yeah, maybe a trap or Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. I'm not too sure. It'll probably be one of those two.
Yeah, the chat agree, and only the Proton Pack for a Haslab for Ghostbusters. I was quite confident of that, to be fair. Matty Collectors back in the day did I think they did the Trap as well back in the day, but some of the Matty Collector stuff goes for crazy money. So Hasbro may want a piece of that and keep with the merch.
It could be a 1-to-1 scale Slimer, so you can shoot him with your Proton Pack. So.
Yeah, that would be sick. They never did a Slimer for the Plasma series, you know. Like, I had to buy a custom one. Oh shit, who are they from? I've got a sick custom one. I do apologise. Message me if you're interested in a Slimer that go with your Plasma series, because there was a custom one, and it was sick. But there was never an official one from Hasbro. So maybe again.
Even the Ecto 1 crossover had a little Slimer that come with it.
Yeah, but like again, I just think there's room for more in the Plasma series, and again, it's called Ghostbusters. Give us some ghosts. We've got some of the dogs. We did eventually get both heads, so you could have two of the unique dogs. One as a builder figure, one came in the 2-pack with Tully. So yeah, Nostalgic Unboxers in the chat. He says, "Well, look who it is." I see what he did there. That man knows how to play with words. How you doing, Jonathan? Hope you are good, my friend. Giant Man back. Did you back Giant Man? I don't actually know. I know I've seen him talking about it on Instagram.
I think he did. He did release a video recently saying about how his new X-Men figures are waiting for their Giant Man or something like that.
Interesting.
Only he can correct me on this one.
Okay. Greg Finster said we need Virgo. Yeah, Virgo's another character that we got in Diamond Select, for example, but we never got in Lightning Collection Plasma. Anyway, I'm curious. I am genuinely curious of Ghostbusters. I hope it's not role play, because I don't care for the role play. I hope it is a figure of some sort, the 6-inch scale or something vintage or something fun. Anyway, okay, so let's get to our bread and butter then, people. The Marvel Legends. Now, a little birdie has told me we will be getting some reveals, and the only hint or like clue I've been given is if you're a Spider-Man fan, there'll be something for you. So I'm thinking maybe a Spider-Man retro card. Again, I've been clamoring for the retro. If it's not a chameleon, I may riot. If especially at MCM, if by MCM at the end of the MCM panel, if there is not a chameleon revealed on retro card, I say we riot. We riot. We just start picking up the chairs and throwing them. Like, we riot at that stage. Full on riot. So that's what I want to see. More Spider-Man retro cards. Selfishly, just to fill up my wall. I don't want to see. I've just repainted. Like, I'm covered in paint. Look, I'm covered in paint. I've been painting my room. I should have mentioned that at the start of the show. Now people probably think I'm a tramp. For the last hour and 10 minutes, people are like, "What a tramp? Look at all the stains on his clothes." No, I've been painting. Yeah.
You should rebrand, instead of Dan Who Reviews, Dan Who Paints.
Yeah, well, I should have filmed something. Rich said, "Are you doing a time lapse? Are you painting?" I was like, "No one wants to see that. No one wants to see that." So anyway, I've been painting. So now I don't want to see the wall. That's my point. I don't want to see it. I just want to see Spider-Man retro cards. All right, actual characters from the show on the retro card backs. We know the VHSs are continuing in 2024. But I don't care about them. I want to see the retro cards, all right? Well, I do care a little bit. But anyway, that's what I want to see. And we'll probably see something Wolverine related, if that Wolverine anniversary. Maybe some Avengers stuff as well. Maybe something to go along with Giant Man. I don't know. What do you know, Jay?
What do I know? I think Dan Young's clue was Spider-Man retro fans would be happy. So I think it is a retro card. Therefore, I don't think it's Chameleon. Because I think they will. I think they've said the VHS. Yeah, I think they've said the VHS is a continuing with Spider-Man. So
Dan Young asked me the question. He says, "How would you feel if Chameleon came out on VHS?" Because I think they're planning it on VHS, and he wanted to know how I'd react to that. Because I was like, I'd prefer it on retro. So I think he's like in his head and thinking, "Yeah, it's not on retro." Yeah, go on. Did you say something, Tanner?
I said damn, based on your reaction.
I thought you said Dan. I thought.
I said damn, yeah.
Nostalgic Unbox says he did. He backed it during the Geek Dad live stream. Good to see you two boys. And the other two, I don't know yet. So this is Jay, Mark, Tanner. But you know Tanner. You've met Tanner. So it's Jay.
I'll plug myself, Jonathan. There you are. Have a t-shirt. Have the logo. Follow the pink.
There you go. Jay's Toy Collection UK and Mark Tat Toys with Film. Links are in the description to their channels. I'm sure they are already subscribed to you. Okay, so Spider-Man Retro is the clue. And what would you like to see, though, Jay?
What would I like to see? So Spider-Man Retro, the ones I want to see are animated. So then I'm trying to think maybe they won't, because I want to see a Vulture, and I want to see an animated Vulture with a young head sculpt, and I want to see a blue suit Punisher. But again, they're both things I think we'd get in the VHS box. So I'm going to steal an answer from way before in the chat. I saw Home Dude mention Madam Web. So I would like to see Madam Web on a retro card. I think that would be a very nice figure. I would also, going away from that, going Wolverine, because I think we will see something Wolverine. I'd like to see a Patch and Hulk sort of 2-pack, the old white suit 2-pack, because I don't think they're going to show a whole wave. So I think a 2-pack and the retro card is more likely. So I'd like to see that. And on Unparalleled's live stream, and Dan was on with Wade, when we hit the 12K, he gave that clue that in 2024, a legendary rider is coming back. So I'm going to hope it's Danny Ketch with a motorcycle, and there might be at least a tease, maybe at the panel a tease or something to actually confirm that would be the case.
I think 2024 is a good time for Danny Ketch, because people complained during the Engine of Vengeance that they wanted Danny Ketch. He was the more nostalgic sort of a Ghost Rider from the 90s. Most people's mind's eye of Ghost Rider is Danny Ketch. But obviously 2023, they've avoided Ghost Rider at all costs because of the backlash. But I think 2024, I think to reignite that Ghost Rider love and maybe get him back into the zeitgeist, yeah, Danny Ketch would be a good shout for the Riders Wave. So yeah, I also think we're going to see Danny Ketch in 2024 on a bike. But it could just be a repainted Squirrel Girl. That's what Rick said, and it could be. Hopefully not, though. Hopefully not. What about you, Mark? Anything you'd like to see? Anything you think you see?
Well, yeah, I just think. I mean, I think like you probably in terms of Spider-Man, it could be Chameleon, couldn't it? Well, it's coming up to Halloween, and if it is VHS Spider-Man retro, there could always be a Spider-Man version of this character, Blade. He's quite highly sought after at the minute. So you never know. Maybe Blade and Morbius or 2-pack maybe, but I don't know.
Plasma.
Yeah, Plasma. Yeah. So maybe, but in terms of Wolverine, what I'd like to see Wolverine would be the brown. That's my favorite costume, the brown and yellow pinless version of the brown and yellow costume. That is my favorite Wolverine costume, and we had that originally with the Juggernaut Bathwave, but it wasn't pinless, so maybe it'd be pinless
we've got
version.
A better body now, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, got to be coming at some point. And I don't know. Apart from that, I mean, maybe something else with Giant Man, I suppose, like Yellow Jacket, maybe as a digital render, but well, maybe not. I don't know. That's be purely like pulling a guess out of the air. But yeah, I mean, I suppose Spider-Man wise, Chameleon is probably the thing that I think I can say.
Do you commit to riot with me at MCM if it is not revealed by then? Thank you.
Yeah, I'll be throwing chairs like Jerry Springer.
Yeah, exactly that.
Springer stuff. Yeah,
exactly that. Nostalgic Unbox in the chat says, I love a good self-plugging. We don't need to know what Nostalgia Unbox does in his private time. Whatever Jonathan does at home is up to him. Doing Customs yet again. Thank you so much.
Doomed Customs donated $25. Spider-Man every day, all day. Jason Unmasked Hobgoblin with Felicia would rock.
Sounds good to me, Dune Customs. He's on my wavelength. He says Spider-Man every day, all day. Jason Unmasked Hobgoblin, yes please. And Felicia would rock. I would love a Felicia Hardy in like just civilian clothes to go along with like Mary Jane and Aunt May and just start building out that civilian sort of section. Because again, in the animated show, you get just as much of the story being civilian Peter and hit that world as you do as the other Spider-Man world. So yeah, I'm completely with you doing Customs, and thank you once again for the super chat. Always amazing to see. And Dan Yoon's other clue with the VHSs, he said that the characters don't necessarily connected
in the same episode.
Yeah,
they're not in the same episode.
Yeah. So like the box sets ain't going to be, because the other VHS sets they had themes like Aunt May was kidnapped by Doc Ock, Peter Parker. I guess Peter Parker could have been with anybody. I guess there's not really a connection to Strife. Carnage and Black Suit Spider-Man, were they connected? I don't even know if those were connected, to be fair. So it's
they've never been in the same episode.
It's a pretty shit clue then from Dan Yoon. It's just the same old, same old. Dan Yoon tricked me into thinking he'd give me a good clue, and it's actually meant nothing. Tanner, do you have any better idea of what we might be seeing this weekend?
So I was going to say one specific thing until Dan Yoon, when you said the super chat I gave to Dan Yoon, and he had a clueless look on his face. So it's not going to be evil Turkish Spider-Man. I can say that. But on the clues we've been given, with the retro card, I'm thinking it could be something, because you guys discussed cartoon related, it'll be an oversized retro card. I'm thinking maybe the Man Spider. Ooh. So it'll go along with the cartoon theme as well as be on the retro card, because it won't fit in the VHS box set if you want it to be proper size. I think the only way you can do it justice would be to put it on the card back. So my guess for that would be the Man Spider. For Wolverine, I would love a new updated Dickhead, just to put in my Dark Avengers, because that old one is looking fairly worn and haggard and needs replacing. So that is my pick for Wolverine. And with regards to the Rider, I'm going to go with something Jay may have said, but for a different pick. I would say Madam Web in a chair for a Rider.
Look, we keep talking about Thrones, don't we? It would work. You could do a Thrones wave.
It would. I mean, it's like a hover chair kind of throne, so it makes sense to the only way to release it as being part of a Rider. So, yeah, I think those three are... they're the logical bets for me, at least. Again, until at least now, Dan Yoon and Ryan Ting know about evil Turkish Spider-Man, so it's in the zeitgeist. So maybe 2, 3, 4 years down the line, possibly. However, if they announce it at MCM or at the con tomorrow, I will deliberately leave my cousin's wedding early, drive down to MCM, just to celebrate. I'll come down with a bottle of champagne or something.
I'm going to get Ryan to film a video saying he's about to reveal evil Turkish Spider-Man and send it you to see how committed you are. He's going to get revealed the same time as Hippo.
If you should say that, and it's, if you say that, then we'll see.
Yeah, evil Turkish Spider-Man and Hippo are in the same Marvel Legends wave. Coming one day, never, unfortunately.
Not even.
You got a couple of woos from the crowd, though. Me and Jay very much like the idea of the Man Spider, and on a bigger retro card as well. It does make a lot of sense to do him justice. Definitely a big part of the animated series as well, of the comics, of course. So, I'd love an animated one for sure. I had the toy version of it back in the day. So one we haven't seen Legends do in a long time. I think the last time we got it was maybe the Spider-Man Classics, I think.
Yeah, that was the last recent.
Yeah, and that predates Marvel Legends. So that's over 20 years ago since we got a decent Man Spider at the 6-inch scale. So yeah, I think Man Spiders are great. And Tanner, Doom Custom says, Tanner Dude, Man Spider with removable parts for convert back to Spider-Man. Even that would be impressive as well. If you give us the interchangeable arms.
I mean, I can only hope they give it more articulation than they have done with the 6-armed Spidey. Because that just is pants, for lack of a better term.
One of the worst modern-day Marvel Legends ever, unfortunately. And I like that design of Spider-Man. I just don't like the execution in plastic, unfortunately.
Although, one more retro that has just popped into my head.
Yeah.
Because this comic book series is getting a new mini-series, this character's getting a new mini-series come out in Marvel at the moment, Superior Spider-Man. The old one's pretty pants as well. I think Superior needs to be done. That would be a good shout to put on the retro card back as well.
Look, I think Spider-Man is so popular. He's always available. We're going to see him throughout the year. Not a problem. So all over the place. Back to the Thrones though. The Ryan Ting did confirm that the Rider's Way figure would be riding something. So I don't think you ride a throne. So as much as I like the idea of a throne figure with a throne, I don't think that would be associated with the Rider's Wave, unfortunately. But I do like the idea.
You ride a hover chair.
I guess you could. But the way that Ryan spoke about it riding something, I wouldn't class a chair. But Greg Finstad said he's got an idea for the Thrones Wave. Let me get the chat up real quick. Greg says, Thrones Wave, Doctor Doom, T'Challa, Namor, Madam Web, Vulcan Lalandra, or any of the Shia sort of royalty, and Hulkling as well would be a good.
Hang on a second. I've just had a brainwave. There is for the Rider's Wave.
Okay.
There is an emoji in the chat that has been in the zeitgeist for at least 2-3 years, and the big three know about it.
Got there, right?
Yeah.
Of course it is.
Let's see some Thanos copters going in that chat.
Let's see the Thanos copters going. Who else has got a double emoji of Thanos copter as their emoji? Nobody. That's who. Freaking nobody. I would take a 6-inch. I know nobody else wants it. Maybe a few people do. But I would absolutely buy a 6-inch scale Thanos copter. I've got the small version of the Thanos copter. I think Rush sent it me in a package. I think it was Rush from the Loki series, because you did see it in the background of the Loki. So I've actually got the Hot Wheels version, I think, anyway. So I take it. California Red Devil, his favourite turtle's Donatello. He just occasionally wants me to remind everyone of that. He says, you're reading retro as retro card, but what if it's the Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man hashtag Duckgate, never forget. Look, Duckgate's on Legend of the Liquor. This audience don't have a clue about Duckgate. Let's not get that into the audience's brains. But Nicholas Hammond Spider-Man. Which Spider-Man is that? Is that like the... I mean, I'm not 100%...
70s TV.
Yeah, okay. I'm just Googling it now. Yeah, that one's not familiar with... For me, it wasn't on... Oh, okay, it's this guy. Okay, now I know who on it. This is the one that Todd, Rectangular, is always asking to see as well, because Todd's an old man.
This was rumoured at the same time. Well, it was either going to be this one or the Japanese Spider-Man, and they went with the Japanese Spider-Man. So
so this is the one that California Red Devil's on about. Again, a little bit after my time, unfortunately, so not super familiar for me. But again, because it's Spider-Verse, you can get all the Spider-Man. It doesn't matter. It's on the display. Retro card. I think we're going to see a lot of card backs this year now that plastic is officially back. Again, Rich M was wrong the whole time. Plastic was always coming back. I knew that the whole time. I reckon we're going to see a lot of card backs, but not necessarily on retro style. I reckon they're going to start doing more of the same that they did this year with the X-Men 97. I think we're going to get another wave of them. I think Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was on a new designed card back, so it wasn't technically retro either. So I do think in 2024 we will get more card backs, but not all of them are necessarily cool throwbacks to the Toy Biz days. They're not all going to be retro. They'll just be card backs, but not on retro designs. That's what I think anyway. But because there's a rumoured Avengers wave as well that is meant to happen early in the year. Maybe that's where we see the Wasp. I don't know. But yeah, I do think we're going to see more card backs, but yeah, not necessarily retro. Okay, that's bad.
One thing we haven't thought of is MCU. And at this time of year, it's Halloween. Yep. It's been a year since Werewolf by Night. We had absolutely nothing for Werewolf by Night. They're re-releasing it in colour this year. Maybe a Werewolf by Night or a Man Thing or something from Werewolf by Night MCU-wise.
Do you know what? That's a good shout. A Man Thing... Because the Man Thing Build-A-Figure was 2017, and Hasbro are definitely in the trend of re-releasing Build-A-Figures that are a little bit old at this point. And I say a little bit old, that's 6 years old now, going on 7 years old? So I reckon that's a fair shout. Maybe the Man Thing Build-A-Figure repainted deluxe style. Werewolf by Night MCU, like you said, they've had a whole year to develop that figure and get it out now. So not bad shouts at all. They might like to creep in the creepy season theme. Nice idea. And again, MCU's been a bit shitty this year, let's be honest. So, and with the writer's strike this happening this year, next year's all over the place as well. So good luck with the MCU figures in 2024, as we don't really have a solid concrete date for any movie right now. Like, we've got the Marvels, which is November. We know that's happening, but we've already had the figures for that. Maybe a deluxe figure for the Marvels. I don't know. What would anyone want that at this point? So yeah, apart from the Marvels and Loki that's happening right now. Last time we did get like Sylvie in a wave. We got Morbius as an exclusive. I haven't seen the new Loki series yet to know if there's any characters introduced within the first couple of episodes to even warrant a new figure. Is that Loki got a different design? I don't know. So again, yeah, MCU's a dodgy one. I think we're going to see a lot of Infinity Saga style callbacks, I think, for the time being, until we get some concrete movies. Because Deadpool probably is not making its May date, let's be honest. And Captain America's out as well next year. And then other than that, maybe Thunderbolts, but Thunderbolts are probably being pushed. So yeah, MCU's a bit sloppy at the minute, unfortunately. But there you go. So there's our thoughts and just general wants and discussion on all of the Marvel and I'm about to say Power Rangers, unfortunately not Power Rangers, but G.I. Joe, Transformers, Star Wars. But the magic thing is, yeah, we're talking about 1027. There will be reveals because, of course, there'll be pre-orders going up. It's right there. But, of course, not just 1027. That same conversation could be used to talk about MCM as well. Now, from my American friends that are watching who are not familiar with MCM, it is probably the closest thing the UK get to Comic Con. Now, it's probably 1/10 of the size of Comic Con, don't get me wrong, but it's London Comic Con, so it's the biggest Comic Con in the UK, so it's a big deal, and Hasbro will be there, and Hasbro have a panel like they do at Comic Con, but it's not like individual. It's not like a Star Wars one and then a Marvel one. It's like all the brands have one panel together. They share it and they just have a couple of reveals. So there will be a Marvel or a Hasbro panel, at MCM Comic Con. It starts tomorrow, but the panel isn't until the Saturday. So you're going to get the 1027 reveals tomorrow on the Friday. And then on the 28th, you're going to get reveals from MCM. So Hasbro, Pulse, MCM, London, Comic Con panel is on Saturday. And there's Bring Toys to Work with that
Bring Toys to Work donated $30. Here is a tip for you all to find someone to please live stream the Hasbro panel at MCM on Saturday. Please. I plan on waking up at 5:30 a.m. to watch it.
Look, that was a perfectly timed super chat. I appreciate that. He used the Streamlabs donation link, which is in the top of the description. Much appreciated. He perfectly said that because he says for the West Coast it's 5:30 a.m. So it's early on the West Coast. So yeah, it is at 11:30 a.m. on the Saturday. So we're in Greenwich Mean Time. So you're gonna have to take away 5 hours for the New York, so East Coast. So what's that?
6:30.
6:30. So 6:30 a.m. for the East Coast, and then Michael on the West Coast.
Another 2 hours.
Has said 5:30 a.m. So yeah, very early for our American friends. So they're going to be waking up to reveals essentially. So, but we will be there. Me, Jay, Tanner, Mark. No, wait, Tanner's not going to be there.
I'm not going. I'll be there in spirit.
He won't be there.
I'll tell you what. Every time you take a picture, I'm going to send a picture of me.
I'll just Photoshop you.
Hold your phone. You can just hold your phone up or something whenever a picture is taken. Yeah,
I can do that. I can do that. But yeah, me, Jay, and Mark will absolutely be there. So yeah, I hope maybe one of us could stream it. Maybe, I hope so. I know Jacob's Toys is going as well. I know he always streams stuff as well. So yeah, if
depends if they got any good Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
because my recording phone doesn't have 4G, so hopefully they have some.
Yeah, maybe I'll try. Bring Toys to Work. I
remember last year, it was a bit of a dead zone in there. You had to get really high to get the Wi-Fi or even get 4G.
That's why I didn't have any content about MCM last year because I didn't really know what it was, so I didn't really have any plans. I just went and experienced it. And yeah, you're like a sardine in a can. Absolutely, it's packed. And yeah, there's no Wi-Fi, there's no signal because you've got like tens of thousands. I don't know how many people are there. 10,000. I don't know. That's a random number. But you get a lot of people all trying to use their phone and take pictures of their cosplay and all of that. Like so, yeah, not a great signal. But I will absolutely try my best to see what I can do. If I can live stream it, it'll probably be an Instagram live rather than a YouTube live. Probably, but I'll see what I can do. But yeah, so anyway, there are going to be Marvel Legend reveals and Star Wars reveals and G.I. Joe reveals and Transformer reveals and Ghostbuster reveals at both 1027 and MCM Comic Con in London. So that's Friday and Saturday. Expect pre-orders to be going up. You can see it right there. Pre-orders happening. Again, it's meant to be for Pulse Premium members, but again, we all managed to watch it anyway, some sneaky way. So there you go. And again, if you are going to MCM, please hit us up. We are trying to get and have a nice meet up. It's very rare that the UK community get to meet up, as there's not really a lot of places for us to do it. So if you are going to MCM in London, in the UK, and you watch this channel, you're watching this stream right now, then please hit me up on Instagram or hit Mark up or hit Jay up. Don't hit Tanner up. He's not going. Unless you want to go to a wedding, maybe you can go to hit Tanner up. But we're going to be there. And shout out the super producer, super co-host, which is Rich, who put this graphic together for us. So we know where to go. We know what shops we want to hit. So of course there's going to be Pulse, all the Hasbro stuff will be revealed and then go on display there. Our good friends Comic and Cocktails are right next to Pulse. So that's a great spot for
prime position there.
That is a great spot for Comic Con cocktails. I don't know if that was a happy accident or what, but I'm sure Jeff and Natalie will be very happy to be right next to the Pulse booth. Jada Toys. Now, I believe all three of us, me, Jay, and Mark, are going to be able to go and speak to Jada as press and maybe ask him some questions and have an interview, check out some product. So, again, if you have any questions, we'll probably use the Who Crew Deluxe and get some questions out of our friends there.
I've got a question. Will they be doing any other Street Fighter games, or will it just be 2?
Interesting. Yeah, we can ask that question. Someone take a note. So Jada's going to be there. I think they've got not Ghostbusters there, a Jurassic Park Jeep there on show for pictures, photo ops and stuff. What's that Jeep called? That one there. That one. Can you see it? That one down there. That's the one they've got. I think. So yeah, there'll be photo ops and stuff like that. Bandai are going to be there, and if you spend £30 at their booth, I think you get a free Digimon toy or something like that. Some sort of Digimon figure giveaway going on there. If we scroll down a little bit or scroll up, there's going to be loads of shops and stuff at Artist Alley. Our good friends Man Toys are also going to be there. They always take lots of treats to MCM, lots of exclusives that are no longer on their website. G.I. Joe's, probably.
I remember last year I spent my entire Comic Con budget on just one figure in Man Toys.
They take treats. Yeah. They definitely stash some good stuff just to take to the conventions. I spent most of my money at Indemand last year as well. A1 Toys.
I'm going to need one of you guys to keep an eye on what that is for me, because I'm looking for a few things.
Yeah. And then Iron Studios as well. So I will be visiting the Iron Studios booth and hopefully doing an Iron Studios tour, maybe a little interview. I'm not too sure, but I have no doubts they're going to have an epic display. Now, again, you know me, I'm all about action figures, but if you want those accurate representations of those characters, you cannot get better than some of the statues that Iron Studios are doing. I'm going to hopefully start reviewing some of their stuff a lot more. I've got my next one ready to go. It's a giant Colossus. Let me get it just to show you while I'm on this section.
That LCDC in Albert you did, Dan, was amazing. That 110 scale.
It was really good. One sec.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Who has left the building. He's going to come back with a giant Colossus.
It's heavy. Let me go full screen just for a sec, just to show people this. So again, shout out Iron Studios. They're good people. Look at this beast. So I've got an Age of Apocalypse, a Colossus, sent over. Hopefully going to be doing a review of this soon when I get everything sorted. But this box is massive. It's hefty. And again, go and check out their website, ironstudios.eu. And I have a discount code for them as well. So make sure you hit me up if you're spending some money on toys, as Dan Who's getting some discount codes these days. So if I can help you save a couple of pennies, then that's not a bad shout, is it? So there you go. So we'll be visiting there. I'll make sure I introduce Jay and Tom, Jay, Mark, Tom. Who else is going? Jamie, Brandon will be there. Rich will be there. Z-Man, Turek, Dan Hayden, Adam, Batman Moran, actual Batman will be there. Craig will be there. Or aka iPhone. Probably appearing out of a puff of smoke. I think he glitches in real life. Do you know like Into the Spider-Verse? You just see him just glitching away. So yeah, if you are going MCM, please hit us up and we can go and look at all these toys together. It'll be fun times. So yeah, let me just skip through my stuff. So yeah, there's Jada stuff. Again, I'll put some links in the description. But Jada Toys now have a fan zone. You can go and sign up for that type of stuff. I'll put the link in the description right now, actually, if I've got it for the replay crew. So yeah, go and sign up if you want to get all the Jada toy news. Then jadafanzone.co.uk, and you can sign up to their sort of their mailing list. And again, I'm going to be asking them about the premium action figure stuff, which is definitely like Street Fighter, Universal Monsters. Like, I want to know, are we going to get deluxe versions? Like, there's no way Blanca can fit in one of those regular boxes. Do you know, like, is he going to be in scale? Is he going to be bigger? Like, I want to know that type of stuff.
Zangief wouldn't fit in the box either.
That's what I'm saying. So we need to ask these type of questions. Like, are they going to be deluxe versions? Are they going to scale those characters down? Because I do like the format they've got for the packaging, but are we going to get a deluxe version of that format? Like, who knows? And then again, Iron Studios are going to be at MCM as well. So lots of stuff to do. And we are going to continue chatting and talking and maybe asking some of our friends for the Who Crew Deluxe some questions that we can ask the Hasbro team. Both myself and Jay both have interviews with Mr. Ryan Ting on the Saturday for both of our channels. So obviously me and Jay don't want to be asking the same thing. That would be pointless. That would be pointless getting the same information twice. There's no use for that. So me and Jay are going to strategically make sure we're asking individual questions to try and maximize the information and tidbits that we get, because we know how to play these games. There's no point asking them about budgets and costing. They're not going to tell us that. We need to try and just get little nuggets of like news for the 2024. Are we gonna see any team's going to be completed? What teams? What are we going to see? An X-Men team completed? Maybe just maybe they give us a yes or no, because it's still vague, but it still gets us closest to the answers we want, if that makes sense. So I'll be doing some media training.
Are we going to see some batshit crazy off the wall figures next year, like Crystar and certain other ideas we have? Yeah, but
Crystar's not bad, you know. I told you, I've seen him in person. He visited my house one day, and he was great. He looked really good. So we're seeing. Hopefully that wave should turn up sooner rather than later as well. But right, are you all going to stick around for the Who Crew Extra? Yeah. Cool.
Yep.
Cool. So we're going to get off right now. We're going to the Who Crew Extra. So if you are a channel member at the Who Crew Deluxe tier, again, it's just a couple quid more of the channel membership. So again, completely up to you. No obligation, of course not. But if you do want to continue the conversation and just have a little private chat with us lot, Who Crew Deluxe, just up that channel membership and then click the link that is pinned to the comments right now. And you can come and watch the after show. Simple as that. Nice and easy. But if you choose not to, that's absolutely fine as well. We will be back next Thursday, but please stick around on the channel, on Jay's channel, on Mark's channel, as I'm sure there's going to be lots of MCM content for us in the UK. So lots of booth tours and interviews, and maybe just a fun meet-up video as well. It'll be cool to see, as that's what this hobby's all about. And again, this hobby's more fun when you can share it with great people as well. So Jay, tell the people where they can find you online.
You can follow me here on YouTube at Jays_Toy Collection UK, and please do, because yes, I have been lucky enough to get an interview with Ryan Ting from Hasbro, Marvel, and also Jing from Star Wars. So any questions you've got for them, please go to my previous YouTube video that I loaded yesterday with my Giant Man thoughts on, and in the comment section, please leave any questions you have, and I will try and get them answered for you. So there'll be plenty of coverage to come, those interviews, and as Dan says, booth tours, all sorts of things I'll be trying to be filmed. Cheeky Monkey will be roving around there with the camera, getting all the footage, and we will see how we do. Bit nervous for my first interviews, but let's give it a go.
You'll be fine. You can talk toys like no one's business. You'll be absolutely fine, my friend. You're going to be in your element. It'll be crazy to see how comfortable you do feel when you get there, because absolutely, it's all fun and games. Mark, what about yourself?
Well, yeah, just echoing what Jay said there, Dan. You can find me on Tac Toys with Film. I'll be speaking to Jada Toys. So if you've got any questions for Jada Toys you want me to ask them, feel free. But even more importantly than that, I'm hoping to do a video speaking to Jay and speaking to you, Dan, as well.
Yeah, let's do it.
MCM. So yeah, but interviewing you two. And of course, other members of the Who Crew. We're all going to, by this time tomorrow, we'll all be shaking hands with each other. And
I'll be able to meet you tomorrow for sure, absolutely. And then Jay will come and meet us on the Saturday. But I'll be able to see Mark Tat's legs. I'll be able to see him in daylight. Like I only see like half of his face with the lights and the shade and the shadows. But we're getting him out of the house to come and talk some toys. That'll be fun. And then Tanner is going to be at a wedding. As disappointed, we're still very sad about it. But Tanner, where can we find you online all the same?
So you can't find me on YouTube because I'm not on YouTube, aside from the Dan Who Network. So we'll just put that to one side. I'm the sore thumb here. I'm not the regular YouTuber. Aside from that, on Instagram, on Twitter, the PlayStation Network, I'm at SuperTurk5000.
Have you already got a platinum trophy on?
No, I think I'll probably finish it tomorrow morning before I go into work.
Oh, okay.
I think I'm like 80-90% through.
Enjoying it?
Yeah, it's really good. It's an amazing game. Can't recommend it enough. It's so much fun playing as the symbiote, just because it's just so visceral, violent, and it's just crazy. It's a different play style compared to the other two Spider-Men. And yeah, I just can't stop swinging around either, to be honest with you. If you get a chance to play it. It's a great game.
I do absolutely want to get it. I just need to get a PS5 first. I didn't realise it didn't come out for PS4. Just going to end the Tanner for Turkish Spider-Man, says Doom Custom. Thank you very much, Doom. And also, just going to end the poll real quick here in the chat. Let me scroll this down a little bit. So the poll quite simply said, did you back the HasLab Giant Man? It funded, and I'm going to end it right now. And it ended with 48% saying, yes, I was in from day one. 34% says, nah, not for my collection. 12% said, the FOMO got me. And then 4%, the lurkers, the haters, they're out there, they're watching, said, down with Hasbro. Boo, down with Hasbro. And we would, of course, go to the Dan Who Extra. So follow us over there if you can. If not, we'll see you next week. We'll see you this weekend. We'll catch you on the next one. All right, let's give them a wave, gents. Let's get out of here. I've got an end screen now, haven't I? Where is it? There it is. There you go. There I am. The music's playing. I can't hear it, but I think I'm in rhythm. I don't know. Click one of these videos. Probably that one or that one. Either, both of them are great, to be fair. I did enjoy filming that one. That one's a right pain in the ass, though. But either way, watch them both. Watch them both anyway. Just watch them multiple times. That's fine as well. I'll see you